All right, moving on. Texans Jets. Quarterbacks, we've got Stroud versus Simeon, who is not even in my he is in my graphic. I got it updated, which you don't see because I'm on the league winner site on the other page. But top 6 matchup for Trevor Simeon. I don't care. 6th worst matchup for CJ Stroud. I don't care. CJ Stroud is going to be, what is he, QB5 for me? 7? He's QB7, and I feel like that needs to be up. He is now QB4 for me, whereas Trevor Simeon is QB30. That's not happening. I'm just not doing it. CJ Stroud, I moved yesterday. I updated my Dynasty rankings for the first time in a while. He is QB2 for me in Dynasty.
He's really, really freaking good. I have no issue with him at QB2.
I get it. This Jets defense is good, but I don't care.
Yeah, he's QB10 for me this week. That's the lowest you'll ever see me rank Stroud. Like, that's literally as low as it gets. He's not going to go lower than that. It's just this Jets matchup is brutal on wide receivers. And the fact they don't have Tank Dell, I do worry about a little bit this week. But yeah, like, you're still starting Stroud. There's only a handful of guys I'm confidently starting over Stroud. If it's a debate where I get into the rankings and I'm looking at him and, like Dobbs or Russell Wilson, like, I'm just going to go with Stroud. Like, I'm not going to do it. Like, he's just too good. It just is what it is. Start your studs. And Simeon, it's gross. Well, they signed, who the heck did they sign? What was it? They signed somebody I can't remember off the Seahawks practice squad. So he might have some interest in this. It's not good, man. I don't see a world where you're starting Simeon this week. Just don't do it.
Running backs, top 6 matchup for the Texans, 13th best matchup for the 15th best matchup for the Jets. Having said that, I'm sure Breece Hall is my highest ranked in this because he's got the backfield to himself. He's at 23. On the Houston side of the ball, I have Singletary at 33, Pierce at 35. I am worried. Pierce took a lot of work and looked like he got the job back last week. I don't know if I want either of them as more than desperation flexes. You are welcome keeping both defenses to keep them away from other contenders. I don't know. I get what your theory is. What's Cleveland's schedule look like? Let me look. I don't think Cleveland's schedule is that great. Jacksonville, Chicago. Okay, so Chicago, Houston, the Jets. So you're right. Don't drop the Browns. That's something interesting. Let me see. Okay, so the Browns get Chicago, Houston, and the Jets in the playoffs. I definitely want to be starting them. What do the Cowboys have? Can you trade? Can you trade the Cowboys, D? Let me look.
It's
Cowboys
probably too late now, but
Cowboys have Buffalo, Miami, Detroit. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't factor that in. I'm still not dropping them for Josh Kelly, but yeah, hold both.
Yeah, like the Browns have been the best team in the league, but fantasy-wise, like the Cowboys have been by far the best. Yeah, it's just it's rough. It's a rough matchup. Like this is gonna be tough. Like you're not gonna have the confidence with the Cowboys defense in the playoffs. So, like I'm gonna be like, do you start them?
I'm not dropping either for Kelly, but you're right. With those matchups, I would prefer to drop the Cowboys. Because you might roll Browns the next 4 weeks of the season here. Browns get nice matchups, Cowboys do not. So that's something to consider. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Somebody could pick them up and start them so they could like be hurting themselves thinking they're getting Cowboys when realistically
that might be something to consider as well. I've done that too where I see the bad matchups and you throw a loaded hand grenade out into the league and see if anyone picks it up thinking it's a present, but so the running backs here on this one. Hall, Pierce, Singletary, where do you fall?
So Breece Hall's 21. As much as I like Singletary, he's still gonna have the pass catching work. It's like we talked about this. His role got seriously diminished last week. I don't know what changed for them, but they are back feeling the vibes with Dameon Pierce. Singletary's 24, but I'm probably gonna bump him down. It seems a little too high. Pierce is 36.
Trade deadline past Lex, I'm assuming. Sorry, Jesse. Is it past Lex? I assume. Oh yeah, landmine drop.
Still conflicted.
I would prefer to trade them, but I'm assuming his trade deadline's passed.
I would. Most people are this week is the latest, like the last trade deadline you'll get if there's a trade.
My redraft. A lot of my redraft leagues. You're right. I think it is this week. So if you could trade them. Throw that out there. Throw them in for someone better than Josh Kelly. Sorry, Jesse. Go ahead.
No, you're good. But I just don't have much confidence with either one of these running backs. As much as Singletary's been good on the air, like you have to just adjust to the new news. So like I'll probably after this week end up probably having Pierce again above Singletary, but I just want to see how this one plays out. But I'm gonna play Breece Hall. It's been a rough. You really need him to just be Breece Hall to really get you the fantasy points. This offense doesn't do anything good for him, so that's why he's so low in rankings, unfortunately.
I'm trying to figure out the difference why
Yeah, there's fast.
why I'm fading. I see that too. Was Thanksgiving. That's way early. I'm trying to figure out why
Yeah.
you fade or I fade into my background, but you don't. I don't know if it's
I think it
my
might be this particular. So the pictures I've had, this particular picture for some reason, the whatever setting it is, it works way better. Like I've had other pictures that like, what you have that have that issue in our when we have the same
I
file.
did
So I
it
don't
the
know.
other day where I put my camera slightly offset and it
Mhm.
worked, but that's a problem to figure out when I'm not live on the show.
Yeah, it could be the color scheme too, and like how it's matching. Yeah, because yours is really like being
A big
really
pain in
aggressive.
the ass. It doesn't do it with a
Yeah.
hat, but anyways. Moving on to wide receivers here. Wide receivers, where the hell are we? 19th best matchup for the Jets. Worst matchup for the wide receivers, as you said. I think we've probably got a couple of wide receiver twos. Excuse me. I have Nico. Nico at 27. Garrett Wilson at 31. So I guess I have high on threes here. I much prefer Nico and probably will move him
Yes.
up a couple of slots. I
Yeah.
don't really want to. Well, I guess you're gonna have to start him. Yeah, they're wide receiver threes, but with downside, I guess you would say, because Wilson's downside is a dog shit quarterback. Nico's downside is a tough defense, but I think you're definitely still playing Nico with
Yeah.
Tank out. There may be nobody else. So
Yeah, he's gonna get serious volume. He's at wide receiver 17. I'm probably gonna drop him to 20, right at one spot below Brandon Ayuk. And then it's Garrett Wilson at wide receiver 25 for me. So he's like a high end wide receiver 3, low end wide receiver 2. Like it's exactly what you're talking about. Nico's going to get absolutely peppered with targets. And if you want another guy to throw in, it's like Noah Brown. Like he's
yeah.
the other guy who's wide receiver 44 if you want to take a dart in. But yeah, it's not a great matchup. It's, it's just we're just chasing volume from one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So at least that's the rule. And then super deep leagues, Robert Woods is like wide receiver 74. But it'd have to be an incredibly deep league to consider that.
All right, moving on. Jets tight end, fourth best matchup. Conklin is a streamer at best if I'm desperate. Houston, it is the 13th best matchup for Dalton Schultz. I'm not sure if he's back. Let me look. I have him listed. He has no tag last I seen, but that could be limited in return practice. Hamstring was limited practice Wednesday. Any form of participation is positive sign. I'm erring towards him playing, but I hate soft tissue injuries. So I'm probably playing him. I'm playing him over Conklin, but I prefer to avoid him if you can. The kickers, Matt Amendola of the Texans has the third best matchup, 11th best matchup for Greg Zuerlein of the Jets. I'm not playing either of them. The DSTs, we have the best matchup for the Texans, fourth worst matchup for the Jets. I am playing the Texans, probably I would say as a top 10, and I am avoiding the Jets. I get it. The Jets are a really good defense. This is a bad matchup. Houston at 8, Jets at 16. Not playing the Jets. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just such pressure on the Jets defense throughout to continue to play at that level. Like the offense is so bad, it forces them to really just be aggressive, do things you're not comfortable with, and it leads to some bad situations where like you see late in games, it kind of breaks apart. Where we saw against Miami, they had 2 long run touchdown runs and things like that. So yeah, it can unramble for the Jets defense just because the offense is so bad. So yeah, I'm definitely starting the Houston defense over the Jets.